You will learn today about 9 things that all girls think about, and these 9 things are their vulnerabilities. You will fully comprehend them with my help, and I will also explain to you how to benefit from them. I won't simply list them for you and stop there. Instead, I will demonstrate how to use them to your benefit, so pay close attention. The disparate personalities. You should have 2 distinct personalities, not just one. For instance, if you are a kind person by nature, you should also have a darker, more mischievous side. Or let's say you have a strong, calm, and collected personality, and one day you are walking down the street when a song starts playing loudly. When she sees you dancing, she will be perplexed and unable to comprehend what is happening. She will ask herself, "Isn't this guy strong and calm? Why is he dancing? Who is this person really?" These kinds of questions will make her think about you all the time and will strengthen her faith in your strength. How women are drawn to strong guys, as you may already know if you've been watching my series on how to attract women. However, I don't want you to constantly play the tough man. 100% of the time, if you do that, she won't believe in your strength and will feel like you're forcing it. That's why you should always try to incorporate an opposite side to your personality. If you're kind, add a dark and bad side to you. This will make her think about you more. And at the same time, it will increase your mysteriousness, by the way. Soon I'll be releasing a video in this series dedicated solely to mystery and how to increase the mystery in your personality. But for now, I want you to focus on adding a contrasting side to your personality. And trust me, you'll be surprised by the results. Talk to her about someone who looks different from her. This tactic is very important. Always talk to her about someone who looks the opposite of her. For example, if the girl you're interested in has black hair, mention a blonde girl when you're talking to her. Say something like, "I knew a blonde girl who used to impress me when I worked at XYZ company," and then continue the conversation. Or you could mention a famous blonde actress and say you're a fan of her acting and keep talking casually. But when you talk to her, speak naturally, don't make it seem like you're throwing her a hint or a signal. Just talk normally to fully understand this tactic. Allow me to clarify a point regarding girls. You have to understand that girls tend to overthink a lot from the moment they wake up in the morning. They begin to overthink, for example, if she's walking down the street and suddenly sees a crying child. She might think about that child all day, creating scenarios in her mind trying to understand why the child was crying. She might even start feeling sad for the child, even though she doesn't know him and only saw him for a few seconds. This is part of a girl's nature. She overthinks everything. And this overthinking is one of her biggest weaknesses. So when you're with her and they talk about a girl who looks completely different from her, even if you only say a word or two, she will keep thinking about that girl when she goes home at night. She'll keep wondering why you mentioned that blonde girl. She'll think, does he like blonde? Am I not attractive to him? Am I not beautiful? Maybe I should dye my hair blonde. In other words, with just one sentence, you can make her think about you all day. And this state of mind where she is thinking about you and trying to understand you is the quickest way to her heart, and it's the fastest route to love. In short, talk to her about a girl who looks the opposite of her. Don't be afraid to criticize the girl. This point is more about you as a man than it is about the girl as men. We often fear hurting a girl's feelings, and we hesitate to criticize her. For example, if a girl is smoking next to you, you might not have the courage to tell her, "Don't smoke or blow the smoke away," because you're afraid of seeming rude or impolite. But in reality, this is just a misconception that society has ingrained in us. If you tell her blow the smoke away, even though you may come off as rude, she'll actually admire the confidence and strength you're showing, but you shouldn't be overly critical all the time. Your criticism needs to be thoughtful. For example, if she wears something that doesn't look good on her, tell her that outfit doesn't suit you. Or if she takes a picture that doesn't look great, tell her that picture didn't turn out. Well, this honest criticism has a strong impact on the relationship, because when you criticize her, your compliments become much more valuable. I want you to remember this phrase for the rest of your life. When you criticize her, your compliments become more meaningful. If you always compliment her, she won't give much importance to your praise. But when you criticize her from time to time, the compliments you give become special, and she'll desire them more. Think about yourself. If someone is constantly telling you, "You're smart, you're smart, you're smart," after a while you'll stop valuing those words. But if someone who has never complimented you before suddenly says you're smart, you'll appreciate that compliment much more. This is natural as humans. We give more value to rare things, by the way. This isn't just a weakness for women, it's a common human characteristic. I'll be creating a film on this subject shortly as part of the social skills series, but for now, just keep in mind that criticism is the basis for eventual appreciation of your compliments. Point 3. Let's proceed to point 4. Talk to her about a skill she lacks. If the girl struggles in a particular area of her life or doesn't know how to do something, you can use this to your advantage subtly. For example, if a girl tells you she doesn't know how to cook, wait a while, and then one day during your conversation, casually mention something like, I really admire girls who can cook, but don't say it out loud. Instead, let the conversation naturally evolve from what you're already talking about. Don't just stare at her and say, I love girls who can cook, as that will make her feel like you're addressing her directly, and she might try to react defensively. But when you bring it up indirectly later when she gets home, she'll keep thinking about it. I'll say it again. A female will become more attached to you the more she thinks about you, so pay close attention and disclose your faults with her. This is why I frequently receive inquiries from people who are worried that a girl would find out about their flaws. Pay close attention because I have a very vital message for you. If you have a weakness, tell her about it before she discovers it on her own. This is a really effective strategy that not many people are aware of if you have a specific problem. If you don't know how to dance and one day you go to a club with a girl and she notices that you're terrible at it, she'll see this as a flaw and think less of you for it. However, if you tell her up front that you don't know how to dance, she'll see you as confident because you've admitted it to her, which is a sign of self-confidence. And you'll also make her feel sympathetic because empathy is a crucial aspect of a woman's character. In fact, it's one of her greatest weaknesses. Why do some people use the pity strategy to get closer to women? Because when a woman feels empathy for a man, it becomes difficult for her to say no, and she feels a strong attraction toward him. But let's be clear, I don't recommend using the pity strategy to win over a girl. Because even if it works once, it's unlikely to work again, and you could lose her. I recommend using empathy while maintaining your strength and masculinity. That's why I'm telling you, if you have a weakness, let her know about it. And by the way, since we're talking about empathy, I'll share a technique I've been meaning to talk about for a while, but didn't get the chance. If you ever get sick or need something, and you're already in a relationship with a girl, ask her to take care of you. If you're sick and need medicine, ask her to go to the pharmacy and get it for you. Women naturally love to take care of others, so if the situation arises, ask her to look after you. When you're with her, show that you lose control a little, like a small child who wants to hug her or gently touch her. You become spontaneous, and when she does something cute, you hug her and let go of that strong, composed side of yourself. Show her this side. But there's an important point to stop here and discuss. This technique shouldn't be used all the time. It depends on the girl you're dealing with most of the time in the first date. It's better not to do this, or if it's your first time talking to the girl, don't use this technique. Wait at least until the second meeting and start gradually. Don't suddenly go for a hug out of nowhere. The key is if it's suitable for your situation. One of the best ways to avoid being stuck in the friend zone is to show her that you lose control when she does something cute or wears something that looks good on her. This will make her like you more because she will feel that you're spontaneous and unafraid to show your admiration for her at the same time. By the way, I'm thinking of making a video about the friend zone in the How to Attract Women series. If you want me to do that, please let me know in the comments. If you're having this problem right now, please let me know in the comments. Make her work to get your attention. For instance, if you tell her that you enjoy philosophy, after a while you ask her whether she still enjoys it, she may give one of two answers. She may respond positively or negatively. If she responds positively, it indicates that she is attempting to win your approval, which is a natural desire of all girls. If she responds negatively, she will begin to believe that I told him no and that he enjoys philosophy when she gets home. What will he think of me? What does he think of me now? As I mentioned earlier, every girl has a natural weakness. She wants to be liked. In this case, after saying no, she will continue to think about you and wonder if I lost his interest. This reflection will make her want you more. So in both situations, you win. The key is to put her in a situation where she feels like she needs to win your approval. But if she says no and doesn't seem to care, don't sit there trying to convince her or say things like, oh, philosophy isn't that great, or try to follow her lead in the conversation. If she says no, just ignore it or change the topic completely if you want. In conclusion, the goal is to express your admiration for something, then inquire about it later and allow her to work hard to earn your respect. Many girls prefer to be dominated by a man who knows how to take charge and set limits with them. Many of you may already be aware of this weakness, but you may not be aware of how to use this control. Establishing boundaries is the most straightforward method. You must demonstrate to her your boundaries. For instance, if you tell her you don't like girls who smoke and she pulls out a cigarette and begins smoking in front of you, get up and leave right away. Don't sit next to her. Over time, she will stop smoking in front of you. Alternatively, let's say you are planning a trip together and you tell her you don't pay for girls. We'll split the costs and then stick to that boundary. By the way, there is a common question. Should you cover all expenses or should you split the costs? There is no right or wrong answer to this question. It all depends on what you want to do and what works best for you. Do what makes you feel comfortable, especially in the beginning if you're just starting out with the girl and she isn't your girlfriend yet. If you can afford it, do it. If not, don't pay and split the cost. What matters is that you do what works for you and don't worry about what she thinks or what society expects. Make her understand that she is not the only person in your life. A girl will occasionally ask you if you are seeing someone else. Most men feel insecure and reply, I'm not seeing anyone else. But that's not what you should do. Instead, say something like, yes, there are a few candidates I've shortlisted. Let's see who gets the job. This will not only make her jealous, but it will also motivate her to put in twice as much effort to keep you around. Women are naturally drawn to men who have many options, which is a weakness. I've covered a lot in the How to Attract Women series, so if you haven't seen it yet, I suggest watching the entire thing. With that, the video is coming to an end. If you have any questions, please leave a comment so I know what to cover in the next one. This was The Dark Needle. See you next time.